Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. Hello, my wonderful doll-loving friends. This is Annie from Annie's Playhouse. I've been looking forward to doing this video for you because I'm so fascinated with face sculpts. It's just amazing how a little bit of change in makeup or hairstyle or skin tone can completely change the look of a doll. I thought it would be fun to take You Create Barbie Basic Neutral Girls and compare their face sculpts to the ones that I already have in my collection. And I thought it would be fun to play a little game and sort of decide whether they're going to be sisters or whether they're going to be long-lost cousins. You know, because the face sculpt can be the same, but because of the changes that they make with, makeup, the face-ups actually, or the hairstyles or skin tones, they can look completely different. So I'm starting with Elle. I love Elle. Elle was one of those face sculpts that I saw when the looks line first came out, and the Barbie looks, and I was just like, what? Like, who is this gorgeous creature? So the Elle face sculpt started with this girl right here. She's the Barbie looks that came out in 2021. She was model number 2 in wave 1. And as you can see, she's got a gorgeous face. And I love this wonderful afro that they gave her. And the next Elle came out in the final wave. She's model number 14. And see how different her skin tone is, much darker. And she has bolder makeup, that bright red lipstick. And otherwise, her hair just has some few, like some highlights in it. And then the newest Elle is this beauty right here from the Neutral series. So here you can see all 3 dolls. Now the face-up on the Neutral girl and the original Elle is not that terribly different. And as I'm looking at these girls, I feel like they're sisters. I feel like even though their skin tone is different, that does happen a lot in families, and I think that these 3 are very similar. And let's see, can you see this girl right there? And I think that they're sisters, but I absolutely love them. And, this girl here just is a little more glam. She likes to wear more makeup. And otherwise, I think they're not that different. Absolutely gorgeous. So next, we're going to take a look at Laura. So this is the Laura that came with the Neutral kit, number 1. And then this is the other Laura that I have in my collection. This Laura is from the Fashion Fever line. And she came out, she's actually at the time was called Fashion Fever Drew in the head sculpt is stamped in 1998. And then that Laura sculpt was used in the Generation Girl series for Anna and Laura. So this face sculpt has been around, for a while. 1998 was quite a while ago. And she is just a stunning face sculpt. Now, you'll notice that this doll's whole physique and her head is larger than the current sort of collector Laura. And at one point, Mattel was making the faces
you know, more playline like they are today with a lot of the playline dolls, obviously. But you know, we can see it here as we compare them. It's not just the face that has changed the size, or the head rather, but also the body seems much thicker here if you look at the shoulder. But most of the Fashion Fever clothes do fit the modern dolls. So let's take a good look at their faces closer up. And of course, there's a huge skin tone variation. Let's see. Otherwise, I wonder how they do that. I guess using computers, you could make the same face sculpt, you know, the mold larger or smaller at will, I guess. But I do find that interesting. I did not realize that till I looked at them side by side, how different their sizes were. So I think these guys are definitely distant cousins. I don't think that they're sisters, even though they have many similarities. Yeah, that's what I think. But I do love them both so much. But the new Laura, well, the neutral kit Laura, has completely mesmerized me. I just can't stop staring at her beautiful face. Oh, she's just really, really, really beautiful. So let me know what you think as I'm doing these dolls, you know, these little comparisons. Let me know what you think. Sisters or distant cousins. And then next we have this gorgeous Tango. I was so excited about getting her, and the more I look at her, the more I love her. She really reminds me of Alicia Keys a lot, not just because of her simple, you know, almost no makeup, but just that softness of her face, the kindness in her eyes. I really love her. And the only other Tango I have is this girl, which is so interesting to me. Oh my goodness, look at this girl. She's from the, let's see what year that came out, in 2002. She came out in the Barbie and Ken limited edition FAO Schwartz exclusive. And she was partnered with this handsome guy who you've seen probably in my previous video. He was the date in New Orleans to the Maeve Riley doll in one of my videos. And then they came as a gift set to represent the tango dance. And I remember when I first saw them, I mean, he's like the drop-dead gorgeous guy. And I love his outfit. I love everything about him. But the Tango girl with that rose in her lips, I think some people probably really think that that's crazy. But for me, I remembered that as something from my childhood, where, you know, these dramatic flamenco dancers would have a rose between their teeth. I have no idea where that came from, but I do remember that as a scene from my childhood, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. Some of her little feathers have seen better days, but these are real, you know, ostrich feathers on her dress, and she has the most amazing fishnet stockings, and the whole dress is just gorgeous, the way they gathered it in the back. She's got real metal earrings and very dramatic makeup and dramatic hairdo. She's really a cool doll. But look how different she is from this Tango. I honestly would not have recognized this beautiful girl from Neutral Kit number 2 as Tango, because I think maybe the lips look so different. I actually thought about removing that rose so that we could do a better comparison, but you can remove it, but those holes will remain, and I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to put it back, you know, properly, and so I'm just going to leave her the way she is. But, you know, their eyes are painted differently, but they're similar. You know, the angle of the eyes are similar. The lips of the dancer look a lot fuller, I think, because of the bright red, you know, lipstick. But I find this to be fascinating that these two dolls are both Tango, you know, the Tango face sculpt. So I think these guys are definitely distant cousins. I don't think they're sisters, but they are both very, very beautiful, and I really love them both so very much. So let's see, next we have from kit number 3, we have this gorgeous Freda. And the first time we saw Freda was with this girl. She had on I believe it was a sort of silver sparkly top with a red bottom dress when she came out in wave 2 of the Barbie looks line. She's model number 12. And that was the metallic series. And they made her curvy. So she was stamped 2021. That's when that came out. And then this is, we can compare her next to the Freda from the neutral kit, number 3. Now, I think these girls could be sisters. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So if, you know, skin colors can really vary in families where, you know, maybe a Caucasian person marries a Latina, or, you know, some kind of combination like that. I remember Heidi Klum was married to, oh gosh, what was his name? Seal. And he's pretty dark-skinned, and she's pretty light-skinned, from Norway, I think. And, you know, she used to, like, laugh at, you know, that her family was like the zebra family because everyone was, you know, different colors and different skin tones. I've not looked into that myself to see what her kids were like, but I do know that in some families you will get variations. But if you look at these faces, they're not that different. The eyes are a different color, of course, and the makeup, the looks, Freda has a lot more dramatic makeup. But, you know, I'll be honest, I love, love, love the neutral girls' skin. You know, just, it's not so much her skin tone as the softness of the makeup. I just think it's beautiful. But I've always adored the original Freda and loved her dramatic makeup. So, you know, I really love them both. But I actually have another Freda. And that is this Maria Tall Chief ballerina doll. Look how beautiful she is. I love her sculpted legs. So gorgeous. Now, I do have a video of her unboxing, and it's, you know, I can link it below. I think that would be kind of fun if you'd like to check that out. I talk a little bit, or quite a bit actually, about the ballet that she's portrayed in this outfit, the Firebird Ballet, which I was fortunate to see when I lived in Texas. But I think her face is really beautiful. Some people thought that it was a little bit, I don't know, too much, extreme somehow. But I think she's really gorgeous. And, you know, look at the delicate hands that, oops, sorry, am I off camera here? Look at those delicate hands, just so, so, so pretty. So let's look at these dolls together. See, it's hard to tell, in my opinion, that these two share the same face sculpt. the Maria Tall Chief, I don't know, her face seems a little bit narrower, but that could just be an optical illusion because the neutral girl is on a curvy body, just like the original Freda. So, of course, the tall chief girl is a thin dancer, so her, her neck is probably thin, well, definitely is thinner. That would also alter the shape of the head, I think. So I think that possibly the neutral girl and the looks girl are sisters, and I think Maria Tall Chief is a distant cousin. I think she looks nothing like them, even though they share the same face sculpt. But what a pretty sculpt that is. You know what I really like? Above the lips, there's such a nice definition between, in that area between the lips and the nose. I think it's just gorgeous. Now, they made Maria Tall Chief's eyes larger. And, of course, she's got that dramatic makeup that ballerinas often have. But, see them as a lineup. Quite gorgeous. These ballerinas, by the way, are really cool. They put them on these really cool stands so that you can pose them and, make them leap. And it's a very cool little, like, saddle stand that really is nice. And she's just really fun to play with. I think she's really gorgeous. Sometimes I think about rebodying her because I think she'd be cool as, a different kind of character. But she makes a really pretty ballerina as well. And she was a very, very special woman. It's really fun to hear more about her. She was the first American prima ballerina, and she's a Native American girl, and worked really hard to get where she did in life, and she broke the mold, that's for sure. She's a very, very interesting person and a beautiful ballerina. So those are my 3 Fredas that I love. I love them so much. So that brings us to Pazette. So when I made my video of kit number 2 that Pazette was in, I mentioned that I didn't own any other Pazettes, but that was not true. I did not realize that Madam President from the Barbie movie is also a Pazette. I did not realize that. And she's a little bit wrinkled because she was sitting in one of my permanent dioramas at the bar, flirting with a cute bartender. So she's been in there for a while, sitting in that dress. But look at these guys. They're so beautiful. I also have this BMR Pazette from 2012. So interestingly, the Pazette face sculpt was started in 2012 in a collector doll by Stephen Burrows, and he loved this face sculpt so much and used it often. In 2013, he used it in the Tribal Beauty collector doll, and then he also used it in that same year in the Alazne, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Alazne. It was also a collector doll, gorgeous, gorgeous dolls. And the Pazette face sculpt was also used for the Sally Ride astronaut doll in 2019, and then also for the Ella Fitzgerald doll in 2020. Unfortunately, I don't have either of those dolls, but I do have Madam President, and I do have this gorgeous BMR Beauty. So she's on a curvy body, so it's a little bit different, although her face seems about the same to me. So let's look at these girls together and see what we think. Okay. Let's see. What a gorgeous trio. What do you think? Now here again, let's see if how the eyes are. They all have dark eyes. I think these girls could be triplets. These two, I think Madam President and the neutral, oops, she just lost her shoe. Madam President and the neutral Pazette, I think, are definitely sisters. And I think they're twins, actually. Now, what do you think about the BMR doll? Is she a triplet or is she a distant cousin? I don't know. Her lips look sort of... No, I think it's just the makeup. Well, I think that she's a distant cousin. That's what I think. She might be a distant cousin. And these two, maybe not twins, certainly not identical twins, but they could be maybe a year apart, and then she's a distant cousin. That's what I think. But aren't these girls gorgeous? You know, it's funny, I was kind of complaining about Pazette's eye makeup, but I'm warming up to her as I see more of her features when I'm not focusing on the gold around her eyes, and I just look at the rest of her. She's a very beautiful doll, just so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this little face sculpt presentation, comparison, face sculpt study in effect. I do want to give a shout out to Gypsy from Broken Dolly TV, because she's the one that sort of taught me about face sculpts. Before I started watching her channel, I didn't really pay much attention to face sculpts. You know, I just purchased dolls who I was attracted to. You know, if I saw a Barbie that I thought was just so stunning, and I had to have her, that's how I would pick them out. But she picks out her dolls a lot by their face sculpts, and she only likes so many in her collection of one kind of face sculpt. And she really made me sort of pay better attention to that whole concept of, you know, comparing the different face sculpts and what their differences are and what their similarities are. And, you know, so thank you, Gypsy. You really introduced me to a very fun aspect of doll collecting. And, you know, I've never turned back from that. I find the whole thing so fascinating. And the other thing that she said that I find really interesting is that she said, I don't collect dolls, I collect faces. And, you know, that's really what I was doing too. She just worded it so eloquently, because that's really what I was always attracted to. And sometimes the clothes, sometimes certain dolls will have a certain personality depending on what clothes they're wearing, but mostly I feel the same way, that I collect faces and personalities, and I just find it fascinating to create my own little world of Barbies and my own little 1/6 world. So let me know in the comments if you are one of those people that pay attention to face sculpts or not so much, or maybe like me, you came into that concept a little bit later in your collecting world. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me today, and please take care of yourself and those you love. Enjoy your hobby, and I send you my love. Bye now.
We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, 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 happy. Happy. Happy, 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 happy. It is my happy day, I want to sing it all the day. My best friends are always with me. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, happy, happy.